And recording. Okay. Do I look okay with the arm up here?
Don't look awkward.
Okay, here.
You look like this when you have one arm back, one arm front.
Should I say it like this? Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay. So
Yep.
Okay. All right, Justin. So we both love our kids, but is it okay that they are a part of our business, that they work as a part of the family business?
That's been a thing for the past several years, is people talking about, especially in the influencer world and in the YouTuber world, should kids be part of your business? And I wanted to talk about it because I wonder what other people think about it, people that might be watching this video or other people. How do they feel about kids working? I think it's easy for some people to have an opinion because they don't have kids working and they don't understand what contribution is or what their amount really is. Does that make sense?
You mean they don't have kids in this space, not kids working?
Right. So they have a quote unquote normal job. They work at a building, whereas we work within our house, and our kids are utilized within our business. A lot of people go to a job, they drop their kids off. Mm-hmm. So their opinion, I feel, is not that it's unmerited, but they don't have any experience. So people look from the outside and they presume and assume things that are not true, meaning that your kids are working. It's like, oh, they're like slave labor. And it's just like, how can you do that to your kids?
Well, I find it interesting in two senses because, yes, I understand YouTube. I won't say it's new anymore, but a lot of people don't understand the dynamics of how you're working or whatever the case may be. But I also find it strange because child actors and entertainers, all this stuff has been around forever. That is not new. It's been around forever. And this is pretty much the same thing. Now, if people are like whipping their kids like whoosh, behind the scenes, like, hey, you better start performing for these people, I can understand that part of it.
Well, people are doing that anyhow, like people that abuse their kids with or without working, that's just bad parenting. Like, so are we talking about kids working or are we talking about good or bad parenting?
You know, I guess I see it less of kids working, more of kids being productive. Let's say we go back to the times of us going to work and Jersey and the girls go to daycare. They go to daycare from 8 a.m. to, 5 p.m. Mm-hmm. And we pick them up, and then what? What do you do with your kids? You have 2 7-year-olds and a 4. You're going to go to the park for an hour? Okay, great.
Yeah.
You get back home. It's like, okay, great. What productive part happened during that day? You don't know what they were doing at daycare. Well, the girls are old enough for school, so assume school will be great, but Jerry's at daycare. Who knows what he's doing at daycare? Hopefully you're at a great place where they're doing a lot of learning, but he's 3.
Right.
They could be coloring all day. They could be whatever, which is also fine. But I think our kids and many other kids learn better life skills by doing some of the things that they do with their parents, you know.
Mm-hmm. Are you saying the life skills of learning how to focus on something, learning accountability, learning how to participate, how to...
I would take accountability off the table just because I don't think kids at that age necessarily understand that, but I think they can understand putting in work. Mm-hmm. I don't think they really know how to be accountable. Like, they don't know, like, oh, I got to make sure that I show up for these videos every week. They just know what we...
Right. Well, I think they don't know they're learning it, but later in life, if an adult becomes very accountable at an early age, at say 22, mm-hmm. you might ask them, how did you become so accountable? They may not know. Yeah. But it may be ingrained from when they were very young, and the inculcation of something over and over and over again they're not really sure of, but then they can attribute it to like, oh, I think I'm very accountable because of, what my parents kind of quote unquote forced me to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and a lot of the things that we do, and I know that maybe some other parents in this realm do, hopefully, can't speak for them, is really even when we're doing anything, we tell the girls all the time, like, right now we're doing a video, but this is not just relating to a video. I don't care if it's 30 minutes from now you're doing schoolwork, or in a half an hour and you're doing Spanish lessons, or in whatever, you're going to your gymnastics class. You need to learn to focus.
Yeah, learn how to focus.
It has nothing to do with, oh, it's just a video. No, I'm telling you right now, in an hour when you have gymnastics, you better be focused there too. Mm-hmm. It's about focusing. I do think that the way we approach it, at least, is not just, oh, I need you to do this for this video. No, I'm trying to help you be better in all aspects of your life. We don't look at them and say, you better perform for this video. It's right. Like, hey, you got to learn to listen.
And by the way, guys, we do other things too. Like people always ask, like YouTube is the fun business for us. You know, it's really fun, and it's fun for that reason because we get to document our lives together. Whereas, like you had a great point earlier, if you pick your kids up at school or daycare and you don't have a family business, then how are you convivial with each other than the dinner table or whatever? When you're making videos together or something else, or even on the farm or whatever, you are spending time together.
You have to find that thing that you're all doing
and
together.
The love comes from the time spent with each other. It's not because you're deliberately having a subject to talk about at dinner. It's because you're just spending time together. And for us, we spend so much time together because we're making videos. We love, we fight, we do everything together. And that time spent together is what makes us really close.
You know, and I think sometimes people's issue is they think everybody or every family or every kid has to be like them. Mm-hmm. Not every kid wants to play soccer. Not every kid wants to just be an academic. Some kids want to be entertainers.
Yeah.
Hence why we have kid entertainers who grew up from being a kid to, I don't know, who's the Jodie Fosters of the world, the whoever's. They started as kids because they enjoyed it. It cracks me up, even when there's kid athletes and people are like upset that their parents are like working hard with them. I'm like, how do you think they're going to become the Serena Williams that you love today?
You have to push your kids. What we try to do is find out what they love by letting them participate in Taekwondo, which our kids are doing now, gymnastics or whatever.
But also looking at what we see as their natural talent.
Right.
Their natural, like trying to hone the natural thing they have already of being vivacious. Right. Of being gregarious. Like, okay, let's work with that. Let's pull that along with you. So
it's like you don't want to force your kids to do something, but a lot of times we have the eye as parents of like, oh, you know, my son is going to be a big boy and he's going to be tall. Maybe we should expose him to basketball. He might like it or something.
And that's what happens.
Yeah.
That's what happens.